Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the recent developments for Bitcoin and my prediction, my chart that I made for the entire month of June. You're looking at it. In the previous video, we covered every single day all the way to June 10 or 11, somewhere around those days. And today we're going to be updating all the way to today, which is June 17. And this prediction is exactly like I said in the beginning, guys, last video. This is going to be an extremely volatile month for Bitcoin. You're looking at it. You can see massive jumps, massive downtrends, massive dips, another massive jump, then again a massive dip. I mean, this is extremely volatile. The market is feeling it. Everyone is freaking about it on Twitter. Except me, of course, because, I can see the future, basically. So I know firsthand and beforehand that this month was going to be very volatile. So I was prepared for this. Now, you'll also notice that currently we're sitting on 65K, which is a little bit lower than the limit that I propose here in this blue line. You can see in my last video I talked about that I was predicting a general downtrend for Bitcoin this month, but I was not expecting the price to drop too hard, breaking very dramatic from 66K, right? So it did break this blue line, but not as dramatic. But nonetheless, I mean, this is very volatile, and like I predict, this was going to be a general downtrend for Bitcoin. But anyways, let's begin with the prediction for today, the update. And this green circle is the one that we covered. Let's see how we fared with this one. We were predicting an uptrend for 10 or 11. Now 10 was definitely not an uptrend. You can see it's a very clear and massive downtrend. You can see right here, the day starts right here, around here. You can see a very small uptrend right here in the first 11 hours, but then just a massive dip all the way down. And this is basically where June 10 ends, and this is where June 11 begins. So let's see if June 11 also it was also a downtrend or fulfilled the prediction for the green circle. You can see green 11 continues to dip, then does a very interesting recovery right around here, but nonetheless it does not have enough strength to continue going. And for the record, for the entire month, for the entire day, we did not see an uptrend on June 11. We were very close because the price closed on a very similar position than the one we started with, but it was not an uptrend. So far, this green circle is the only one that has not fulfilled correctly. But let's see, these circles, these were the worst days, because you can see consecutive circles, and the worst outcome possible is the one that we got. Because look at this. Okay, so this is where June 11 ends, and this is where June 12 begins. So June 12 begins with a massive dramatic uptrend, almost back to the previous level. So this is a resistance right here, but then another dramatic downtrend. You can see this month is extremely volatile. You're looking at it right now. Tries to recover, it can't, goes down even further, and basically it stays there for the end of the day, in the final hours. So June 12 was more like a range, because we ended on a very similar position than the one we started with, but the downtrend really consolidated and became very clear the next day, which is June 13. So this is where the day begins. You can see very similar pattern. We're starting to see an interesting uptrend, but then again a massive dip. Does nothing for these hours, and we ended on a lower position, a very clear very significant lower position than the one we started with. Now, the worst, like I said, the worst outcome, we got it because the next day, 14, was also a very massive downtrend. You can see 14 begins right here, does nothing basically in the first 7 hours, and then boom, another massive dip. And it doesn't recover so far. You can see it tries to recover very slightly, but it's not really a significant recovery. Not enough to cover the losses. So you can see that 14th of June was also a very clear downtrend. So we got 2 consecutive days with downtrends. This is very, for the guys that go long, this is a very bad day, very bad times for them. But for the guys that try to, do scalping, day trading, all of that juicy stuff in the moment, these days were perfect opportunities for perfect entries, basically. So now let's see this yellow circle, which is 16 or 17. We were expecting either more volatility or some range to cool it down from these past massive volatilities that we have been seeing. This is basically where June 15 begins. Does basically nothing in the entire day. June 16 begins right here. We starting to see some small recoveries, uptrendy recoveries, but then again some dips. And this is where the day ends. And this is where June 17 also starts. You can see more volatility on the downside, more volatility on the upside. You can see right here. It was very promising. It was a very promising move. We were touching similar levels to the fall previous to June 14, but again, nonetheless, it's so volatile Bitcoin these days that this didn't last, and we saw another massive dip. And this is basically where we're at now, and that's basically where it's going to be for the rest of the day. So let's see if the uptrend is going to fulfill itself on June 18, which is the next day, which is the day that this video will be coming out on YouTube. But also notice that the other circle also overlaps with 18. We're expecting a downtrend by either this or the next day. So be aware of that. This could be a very volatile day, very undecided. We'll see how where it goes. But basically, that's all I have for you guys. Like I said, very volatile. I was already expecting this months ago. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is insane. Extremely accurate. This is the only circle, 10 or 11, that we didn't really got it very clear, very precise. But nonetheless, this is like 90%, way above 90% accurate. Anyways, guys, that's all for today. I invite you to subscribe, like the video, share, and comment what you think of this. I want to hear your insights, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Take care.